The African National Congress in Gauteng is calling on Parliament to address unemployment and illegal mining in the country. Earlier this week, the party marched against failures of government to protect citizens. Let's discuss this further, and we're joined in studio by Temkosi TK Nciza, ANC Gauteng Secretary. TK, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Evening to yourself and your viewers, my brother, and thanks for you inviting me.
Thank you so much. I mean, let's start here. We saw the ANC marching against well, some of these issues that we've mentioned. And the first question is that if the ANC is marching against government, which is an ANC government, does that not defeat the purpose marching against yourselves?
Definitely not. In fact, I think we also need not to be opportunistic. There's a difference between legislature or the party and the state. And there's always been. I mean, when it suits us, we say, why would the ANC interfere in the running of government? Because government is policy makers. In fact, everybody who is in parliament is a policy maker. So you would understand that, for instance, those who are, you know, whether you speak about police force, whether you speak about the magistrates, those people don't answer to the ANC. Those people have a different role to play. They are the ones that are issuing sentences and all those issues. So when we go and we march to the state, we are not marching for the ANC, we are marching for the whole state. And we are saying to all policymakers, let them come together, let them listen to the cries of our people. We are a political party, we've got nothing, we are not the state. We are speaking to all
but effectively, some of those people that you're marching against are ANC members.
In fact, some of them are DA, some of them are PA, some of them, yes.
No, fair enough, yes. Fair enough. But what I'm saying is that the general perception is that the ruling party is the ANC, generally, nationally.
Yes.
Then you can break it down when you come to Gauteng. But then again, then you break it down like that and look at the dynamics. But the general perception, TK, would be that don't you have other avenues where you can deal with this instead of marching?
That's
which looks like you just...
That's why we went to the policy conference, to raise some of these critical issues. For instance, Comrade Beitel is not my friend. I don't chill with him every day. But as a person who leads a constituency, when its people are affected, when there is a Makoko who's raped, when there's a person who's hijacked, when my sister is violated, when there are people who are illegal immigrants who can be traced in my city, in Benoni, who are terrorizing the people of Benoni, I can't be told that the people who are in parliament are ANC. I must lead my people. I must lead the constituency that I'm with. I must lead the people of Kagiso in Gauteng. I must lead people of Hammanskraal against anything that threatens the people of South Africa. Sometimes we need to move away from partyism because I think South Africans are trapped in partyism. The only thing that brings us together is Banyana winning the Africa Cup of Nations. When there is crime that is happening in our country, we want to point at each other. When you have a person who's asking you for a jojo, for instance, you don't ask, are you ANC member? Why are you asking me this? It's a policeman who is doing crime in that particular street asking you for a jojo. It is time we come together and make sure that we create a safer South Africa for all South Africans. It has nothing to do with race, with color, or political party. ANC is a freedom fight. We fought. It's our liberation movement, you know, and people who still vote for the ANC are many. So those people are not affected by crime because they vote for the ANC. You are saying I'm not affected by crime because I'm a member of the ANC. There's no such.
But however, with that said, these issues are not new, TK.
Yes.
Illegal mining, Zamazamas as they're called, illegal foreigners, gender-based violence, these issues are not new. The other question that would be out there is that why now? You know, why all along have you not been raising your hand as the ANC and marching against gender-based violence, marching against illegal mining, marching against illegal foreigners in South Africa?
I suspect many of you have a shock. You thought the ANC is dead. Now that you see a strong ANC on the streets, you are thinking we're doing this for the first time. We've been speaking about gender violence for the longest of time as the African National Congress, for the longest of time.
But speaking about it and marching about it are two different things.
As much as I'm saying that, the reality is that we have taken a stand. We're from a conference that has renewed the mandate of the ANC, which one of the issues that was very sharp, because remember, ANC members come from communities. They don't fall from the sky. So when communities give them a mandate and say, go to that policy conference and raise these critical issues, one, the illegal immigrants are a problem in our society. Not all foreigners, illegal immigrants that you can't
The one that are in the country illegally.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
And we are not missing our words when we are speaking about that. Because the reality is that you must be able to be traced when you have done some form of crime or anything. So we're speaking to that because we're coming from a conference. We're speaking to many of the issues that we're raising sharply because we have been given a mandate by ANC members who are coming from our communities. It happened 2 months ago. All of you covered it. So don't be shocked when you are seeing us standing on the side of the people and think this is a new ANC. No, it's a renewed ANC. It has a new mandate.
Well, the president was talking about renewal, so maybe that's why he uses the word the new ANC.
Yes.
However, so let's talk about the march itself.
Yes.
I mean, what was at the heart of the march? Some of the issues that you're raising, and what is the expectation, again, from the points or the issues that you're raising as the ANC?
There are a number of things. I'll start with the march, and then I'll take you through other issues that are coming out very strong.
Yeah.
The first thing that we're raising is that we need to work with the police. You know, we grew up in the olden days, and we used to say, Impimpi mazishiswe. And I think it's engraved in us. We're living with it. That when you are working with the police, you're an informer. We need to kill such thinking amongst our people, because many people who are doing crime, they live amongst us. The same illegal immigrants are given by us land, are given by house. Yes, it's us. So we need to cooperate now. We need to work together as South Africans. But the issue of the economy is at the center of all of this, because our people are not working, our people are suffering, they're living in squalors, so they find themselves having to do such things. And that's why we are saying to our government, or rather to the leaders in Parliament, including the ANC, the issue of the electricity in Gauteng, it can't be a second issue or a secondary issue, because you can't speak about economic growth or anything that speaks to the stability or investment when you have not stabilized that issue. So we can't go to policy conference and there's no load shedding for that week. And after that, we are going to load shedding, or stage 4, stage 5, and so on and so on. We think we really need to speak to the issue of ESCOM. In fact, it's one of the things that we are going to march for. We are going to lead it from the front as the African National Congress, because it's a view that came out very strong, that we believe there must be some accountability at that level, because you can't speak about employment when you are not speaking about stability. Secondly, as Gauteng, we have a view that says we can't have such especially on the march, we can't have such a lawlessness province where people are just terrorizing. I mean, we just had in Newzroom, people were killed there. We went there. A week later, children were raped. And I mean, Pitamaris and many other areas. And we also must commend police where arrest has been made, especially in areas where they've done that. But we also must agree that we need to come together. So we went there to say to the cops, we are working with you, but root out those elements that are corrupt within the police system. We will also make sure that we are working with the CPFs. Street committees must be formed, so that also, you know, we used to be strong as black people because we used to work together, rather as Africans. We used to work together street by street. We need to go back to that culture of building each other more than breaking each other. So beyond any doubt, the issue of child abuse and women abuse is at the center. It's a Women's Month, so we had to raise it. Many people used to say, yeah, they were speaking about a march against women abuse, but you don't find men. Now the men are leading it alongside women. No, why is the ANC marching against this? So we're saying we must move away from some of these utterances that we find ourselves having to make on the basis of the fact that our belief is that there must be a demise of this organization. We need it, and we need each other.
Let's then quickly touch on, as you touched a little bit on the solutions expected from those that are in power, as you say. What sort of solutions are you looking at? And is there, I guess, a time frame to say those that are in power, these are our concerns? Yes, as the ANC in Gauteng, but also as citizens of this country, citizens of these places that are ravaged by crime and many other things. So is there a time frame to say we need solutions by this time or that time, and this is what we expect from you as the policymakers, as the rule makers?
There are a number of things that we have raised sharply as the province. One of them would have been, in fact, it's been implemented, this one, the Township Economy Bill. That will bring back confidence to township business people, because we are saying there must be some quota for you to be able to even do business in our townships. You know, you must be from those townships, you must be South African. That bill has been passed, so it will take our people to know that is a very progressive move. People have been saying we are run by foreigners in our own check shops, in our own shops, and many other areas of business in the townships. And I think that is a very powerful move, or rather a very progressive move from all policymakers in the legislature in Gauteng. Secondly, we have to, you know, when you are speaking about the mine belts in Witbank, and you want to shut that down for renewables only, and the ANC speaks about the mixed energy. And I'm happy that the policy conference came out very strong on that, because we thought if you do that, you are going to create another migration to Gauteng. It means people must leave now Mpumalanga and come to Gauteng. We have bigger problems here. The issue of e-tolls in Gauteng, we've been speaking about for the longest of time. It's a concern from our people. We've marched on e-tolls. We want to exert more pressure to our leadership on this issue of e-tolls, because we think it is affecting our people. I think, you know, the decommissioning of some of these power stations will be critical, you know, and the greed that Eskom finds itself in currently. So on the basis of the fact that they want to charge the solar companies, we need to have a solar farm as this government in Gauteng. Even all these RDP houses that are finding themselves having solars, we must encourage them, even have more, because we've got sun. We've got, you know, very good heat that comes through sun. So we really need this, you know, but also digital economy. I mean, how do you not work hard and make sure that every township and every corner of Gauteng has got access to internet, so that you can be able to build economies and companies? You would not have Twitter, you would not have Facebook, and many other industries or other companies that you find today, if it was not because of that space. And many young people, you find themselves on internet. We must create an access to internet for all South Africans, so that many young people are able to create their own businesses, so that they don't go into, you know, only you find themselves looking for jobs everywhere, but they can also be innovative and create their own businesses. We think those are some of the solutions that are critical, especially for us in Gauteng and in eThekwini and all urban areas. Those are type of solutions that we think we need, and we must move with speed.
TK, thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you for coming through. Well, good news for you is that Orlando Pirates is leading by a goal to nil on that issue of sports.